Hello viewers, it's your girl Ruby Fangirl. So for a while now, I have done like a couple of videos, basically a two-parter on the Mystery Science 3000 DVD collection. I know it has been like a long while, but I decided before I release like the Tom and Jake like reaction video, which I'll release on Saturday, I'll just do like this, like the third part basically. So last time we left off on volume 19. So I'm gonna start off from volume 20 all the way until volume 29. So just to let you guys know this time around, so yeah. But there will be one more part after that. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I will do it eventually. So without further ado, let's get into this. So of course, the very first one I'm gonna show you guys is of course Volume 20, and it comes with Magic Voyages Sinbad, Project Moonbase, Master Ninja 1, and Master Ninja 2. So, yeah, this is the first time we got, like, two movies based off, like, the same, you know, franchise, basically. Yeah, franchise, I would say. And can I just say, just like from the previous ones, I love the cover art in all of these. I'm gonna give praise to, like, to the artist once again. And here is the Magic Voyages Sinbad, Strange Adventures on the Seven Seas. This is actually a really good episode I do quite like. Project Moonbase, Maroon on the Moon. I don't remember much about this episode. This is a season 1 episode, but I do remember, like, the stupid ending. Like, my god. Like, even, like, the Misty crew was like, what? I thought that was actually, like, pretty funny. And here's the two Master Ninja movies. Master Ninja 1, a man, a plan, a van. These quotes crack me up. And it's average, it's not really, like, that bad. And here's Master Ninja 2, back from the dead and badder than ever. Basically a mixture between James Bond and a ninja. Sure, why not? So, they're both fine. They're not, like, right up there with another, like, two-parter, like, videos, or episodes that they did. Very similar to what they did with the Master Ninjas, but we'll get to that later. And now the next one is a very special one, and I did mention this one a long time ago, and this is the Gamera, like, movies. Basically, MST3K versus Gamera with a special, this is basically a special release. And I remember that I done, like, a Gamera video a long time ago about the DVDs, and I think I did say, like, in that video that my first introduction to Gamera was, of course, this MST3K, like, 5 episodes that they did. And honestly, I'm quite glad I did. So, because I didn't know Gamera ever existed until, like, these episodes. And here's Gamera. I mean, it's not like in this movie, but we'll get to that later. A Cold War climate awakens a creature from another age. That's actually just quite nice. But this is an average movie, nothing like to write home about, so that's fine. Gamera versus Baragon, not to be confused with Baragon. I don't know why they call him that, but whatever. Fire and ice, monster versus monster. Yeah, very creative with the titling. But yeah, this is probably like my least favorite out of these, but that's just my own like personal opinion. And next one is Gamera vs. Gauss, a bloodthirsty beast menaces mankind. I actually do kind of like this episode. It's actually quite good. Kind of very similar like to like the Gamera movie, like Gamera vs. Gauss, and I think it's actually like a really good like Gamera episode. Gamera vs. Guerion, like what is it with like these names with like monster names almost sounding exactly like the Godzilla monsters? A distant planet and a fearsome foe. And this one is with like the infamous or famous version of Gamera, like the Gamera theme song basically. And it's alright as an episode, but I actually do quite like it. And of course, probably my favorite episode is Gamera vs. Zekra. The only part that really confused me about this cover is that it doesn't have like a catchphrase, unlike the rest of them that they do. Which really confuses me, but personally, this is my favorite, like episode. I would like the episodes that they did, because it's just a really, like, fun movie, and also the MC3 really do add to, like, this movie, so I'm actually quite glad that they actually done 5. But these are the only ones that in the original series that they did. But later on, they did actually release Gamma versus Jaguar in like the reboot series of like the MST3K. So that's actually quite nice they actually brought back like to that. So I wish I had the Blu-ray for that, but we'll get to that in part 4. Alright, next up, it's definitely one of my favorite volumes, and that is volume 22, and it comes with Time of the Apes, Mighty Jack, The Violent Years, and The Brute Man. Like, I really like these episodes. Oh, this one, Time of the Apes. Transportal time travelers are stranded in the Time of the Apes. Personally, my favorite Mike episode of all time. This is easily the best one. And it comes with one of the best, like, songs that they did. Like, Sandy Frank, he's the source of all our pain. That song never gets old. I love, like, this episode. Mighty Jack! Can secret team save Earth from the evil forces of Q? Who's Q? I don't know. Maybe, like, what Crow's, like, cosplaying is right now. It's a fine episode. It's not like right up there with Time of the Apes. Probably the weakest out of like this volume. The Violent Years. Spoiled brats become teen Hellcats. That's actually kind of true. Like, I actually really like this. This is basically an Ed Wood movie. They made like a lot of like Ed Wood movies that they made fun of, and seriously, and the Misty crew really do add to like these like Ed Wood movies, let's just say on that part. Like, for real, you guys. And the Brute Man. Hideous to figure he kills for revenge. Well, I mean, he's not really like that, like disfigured, but whatever. But yeah, like this is actually a pretty decently good episode. Like, not gonna lie on that. So yeah, let's just say this volume really, really does make it like for one of the best volumes that I like. But there are a couple others that I absolutely adore, but we'll get to those. And before we get into the better ones, here comes personally the weakest volume in my opinion. That's of course volume 23, and it comes with King Dinosaur, Castle of Fu Manchu, Codename Diamond, and Last of the Wild Horses. Yeah, sadly this is not like the greatest piles of episodes in my opinion, so we're just gonna like move on like from them, but I'll definitely like mention them. King Dinosaur, Journey to a Strange New World of Prehistoric Terror. This is probably my favorite out of like all the episodes in this volume, but it's not right up there, but I mean, hey, I gotta find a favorite one in there. Castle of Fu Manchu. An evil mastermind holds the world for ransom. This one is actually the only one they did with has Christopher Lee in it. I am not lying on that part, but this is the worst episode of all time. I'm not joking. Like, even worse than Manos the Hands of Fate. Like, seriously, I am not joking. And even the Misty crew absolutely hated this episode. We're just gonna move on for this. And of course, here's Codename Diamond Head. I just like how like the cover is. Who will control the world's deadliest weapon? This is also a weakest episode, but I do really love the cover. It actually just paints like a spy movie. But that's not the first time they'll do like spy movies and stuff like that. We'll get to those soon. And Last of the Wild Horses. A murderous ranch war erupts over the last of the wild horses. Yeah, this is also not the greatest episode, but for the host segments, most specifically when they do the theater, for the first quarter, it's actually Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank that actually parodied, like, the first quarter of, like, the movie. Because of the time, like, evil universe time plot or multiverse thing. I don't really know what they do, but that's actually quite interesting. Like, let's just say that, I'm gonna say this, like, sometimes they actually, like, do these creative things that they put, like the villains or other characters just for a quarter of like the movie and stuff like that. We'll actually get to one of those next time. And now, here is personally one of my favorite volumes and one of the earliest releases that I actually got. And that's, of course, volume 24. And it comes with Fugitive Alien, Star Force, Fugitive Alien 2, Sword of the Dragon, and Samson versus the Vampire Women. Like, holy moly. Like, this volume is great. So let's get into these episodes. So very similar to the Master Ninjas, there were like 2 episodes that were fused together like into a movie. Very similar what they did in Master Ninja movies. So fugitive alien trapped between two worlds, hunted by the woman he loves. Like, I love Fugitive Alien. It comes with one of my favorite quotes. He tried to kill them with a forklift. Olay. Oh man, Tom Servo. Like, I just love you so much. Yeah, Tom Servo was the one that came up with that quote. So it's basically a Star Wars kind of like movie, but yeah. But I absolutely love Fugitive Alien. Star 4's Fugitive Alien 2. A final battle for the fate of the galaxy. Now, yeah, this is definitely a Lord Vader kind of like situation. It's also a really good sequel. Let's just say these two are like basically a step up like from the Master Ninja movies, in my opinion. I think they're like a lot more better compared to the Master Ninja movies. Sword and the Dragon. Fable hero returns to defend his homeland. I absolutely really like this episode. This is actually like really, really good. So I highly recommend like this one too. And Samson versus the Vampire Women. Living Data rises to crown their new queen. Like seriously, a wrestler that was famous around like I think Mexico, I believe. Like, cause that's what I heard about. But basically, a wrestler versus vampire women. Sure. I don't know much about like the wrestler, but I have heard that he used to be like a famous like wrestler in Mexico, I believe. I am not 100% sure, but oh no, I really, really love this episode. So I highly recommend you guys actually watching not just Samson versus the Vampire Women, but also like all of these episodes. Basically just get volume 24. Just basically get that and then you'll be all set for the time being. Like seriously. And now we're coming to volume 25. It comes with Robot Holocaust, Operation Kid Brother, Kitten with the Whip, and Revenge of the Creature. Yeah, something about Revenge of the Creature. We'll get to that when we get to the episode. And here comes Robot Holocaust. Can humanity survive the Robot Holocaust? I just like they actually pause and like in these kind of moments. Enter the Dark One's world of terror. And this is a season 1 episode, so nothing to write home about. Operation Kid Brother. He's smooth, he's suave. Now it's his turn to save the world. And fun fact about like this like cover in general, the title itself is not actually called Operation Kid Brother. It's actually called Operation 007. So I think it's probably like a copyright thing. They had to change the name like for like the disc, but apparently they were allowed to release it with the actual title on it. Which it's kind of weird in my opinion, but maybe they just want to avoid like a copyright or basically a lawsuit or something. I don't really know. Kitten with a whip. She got claws and she likes to scratch. Yeah, this is actually an average episode. I do quite like this episode. Revenge of the Creature. A mad blood monster. A city in panic. And this is actually the very first classic Universal monster movie I actually saw, thanks to this episode. And now I'm actually a fan of the classics and stuff like that. So thanks to MST3K, just like the camera, I am a fan. So yeah, like pretty average episodes. Alright, next up we got volume 26. We got the Magic Sword, Alien from El Rey, Danger, Death Ray, and the Mole People. Alright. So we got the Magic Sword, a sword duel sorcery for a damsel in distress. Basically a cliche kind of like story, but this is actually a really good episode. Alien from LA, perilous pursuit in a lost world. I actually do kind of like this episode, but it does have like a very annoying character in it, so I understand why it was a B movie. Here's Danger, Death Ray. A tool of peace becomes the world's most dangerous weapon. And this is actually where the episode we get the classic ba-ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I can imagine you could just put them in any kind of spy movie, like even James Bond, and you would actually like understand. So I do recommend like this episode. And the Mole People. Doom awaits beneath the earth. It's an average episode, nothing to write home about, but I do really like the concept of mole people just digging up from like basically a mole people kind of like civilization. So all in all, average like volume, nothing like to write home about, but average nonetheless. Alright, next up we got Volume 27. We got The Slime People, Rocket Attack USA, Village of the Giants, and The Deadly Mantises. And here is The Slime People, Terror Strikes Beneath the Earth. Yeah, this is also a season 1 episode, but this is extremely forgettable, so I don't recommend watching this. But just, if you do want to watch it, just wait until you actually get into, like, the show, then watch, like, season 1, like, last, basically. I'm just warning you with all, like, the season 1 episodes, because they're all, like, average, like, or not that great. Alright, anyway, Rocket Attack USA. No one can stop the Cold World countdown to Rocket Attack USA. I actually really do like this episode. This is actually, like, really good. Alright, Village of the Giants. Terror comes to town. Big trouble. Actually a really good episode. I don't know much about, like, this episode, but I do like the concept of giant people terrorizing, or should I say terrorizing, because they just want to take over because they're troubled teens. So, yeah, I do really kind of like this episode. It's fine, it's fine. And here's The Deadly Mantises. A prehistoric predator stalks our streets. I do kind of like this movie. It's actually like a really good episode. Like, nothing to write home about, but I just really like the classic 50s stuff, like basically 50s cliches in general. So that's volume 27. Alright, we're getting like pretty close to the end, but now we get to another volume, and that's of course volume 28, aka the 25th anniversary edition. Sorry about how damaged it was. It was actually what I got like from Christmas from my grandparents, so I'm not gonna like blame them. But this is actually also like one of the earliest like releases that I bought, so I'm quite happy I got this. But box is a little bit damaged, but what can I do? But at least like the inside is actually like pretty good. So here we go. Here's Moon 02. Battle for $1 billion asteroid. This is also a season 1 episode, but I do think there was like one joke, like a Gumby like joke that I actually laughed like so hard, but all in all, this is not really a great episode. Oh, this one, The Day the Earth Rose. Black magic bullets out the sun. I like this episode, and it comes with one of my favorite quotes. I need the sample. It's really great. Like, even the Mystic crew is actually like, what's a sampo? It's actually quite funny. Maybe I should actually rewatch this, very similar to Jack Frost, because this is just great. Alright, next we got The Leech Woman. The deadly key to eternal life is death. Actually, this is not really a bad episode. It's actually not bad. Oh, wait, here's like the special edition. Kind of very similar like to like all the rest of the specials. They come with one like specialty. For this one, it comes with Gorgo, Mitchell, and the brain that wouldn't die. See, the deal with like this, these two right here were actually single releases that were released by Rhino, while they never released like Gorgo separately. So basically, this is a triple pack. And because unlike the rest of them, Mitchell and the brain that wouldn't die are like together, while Gorgo has its own like separate disc. So basically, Gorgo is the British version of Godzilla. Like, seriously, I love it. And also, I do really like the roar. If you think it's annoying, just like Titanosaurus, that is fine. Mitchell is sadly the very last episode that Joel Hodgson would be in for a very long time. Although he does make a cameo, like, in Soul Taker, so that's actually really nice. And this is the very first episode of Mike Nelson. So that means an end of an era for Joel and a beginning era for Mike. But I'll actually explain which one is actually my favorite, like, era, but we'll get to that for part 4. So, yeah, so that's a little bit of a history of, like, of those episodes. So, all in all, really good episodes, except for Moon 02, but that's just because it's a season 1 episode. Alright, we get to the last volume of this part, and that is volume 29. It comes with Untamed Youth, Hercules and the Captive Women, The Thing That Couldn't Die, and The Puma Man. Alright, here, starting off, we got Untamed Youth. Teens trapped on a great field work farm. Their only escape, rock and roll. This is a season 1 episode, but it's actually average. Probably one of the few episodes from season 1 that's actually average. It's actually, yeah, it's pretty average. Ooh, Hercules and the Captive Women. What is the deadly secret of Atlantis? Now, this is actually what I mentioned from, like, volume, like, 23 with Last of the Wild Horses, is that for the first quarter of, like, the episode, it's actually Gypsy that goes along with the mystery crew. Well, she doesn't really stay for the entire quarter, but it's really nice that she actually, like, gets, like, her time in the spotlight, because she never really gets to it. But that would change later on, like, in the reboot, where she makes, like, one-line cameo in the beginning and the end. But we'll get into, like, the reboot in part 4. So basically, I'm gonna do, like, the finishing off, like, the original, and then we'll talk about the reboot. So that's how I'm gonna go with that. And here's the thing that couldn't die. Beware the hypnon gaze of the thing that couldn't die. Not to get confused with the brain that wouldn't die. Maybe they just probably did it with that because of a copyright issue from, like, the actual movie itself, not, like, the MST3K episode, because that's legitimately what the title of the movie is called. And I can't really tell which is, like, better, the thing that couldn't die or the brain that wouldn't die, but it's fine. And here's the last episode for this part, the Puma Man. An ancient mask becomes a weapon of a madman's quest to rule the world. And personally, this is my favorite episode out of, like, the whole entire volume. Like, I love this, because as a big fan of superheroes, of course I'm gonna, like, well, that's because, like, the movie is crap, but the MST3 crew really do a great job of, like, riffing it off. So, yeah, that's all the volumes that I have. So, I'd like to know from you guys, what do you guys think of all the episodes? Have you seen, like, those specific episodes? We'll get into the final part soon enough. And now, I will see you guys in the next video.